Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat? Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time, no matter where you are, wherever you may be. I decided to do a podcast here at the radio station today. I know it's been a while since I've done a podcast episode here, but I want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Had a very interesting weekend. Didn't do any shows. Of course, I was on the road. I was traveling. I had to go to Alabama and also Georgia over the weekend. We were celebrating Paxton's birthday. His birthday was on yesterday, so took him out to Georgia for him to be able to celebrate. And shouts out to my brother-in-law. Him and his wife, they had their baby shower out in Alabama. So fun-filled week, a lot of driving. But all in all, man, it was a great time. It's always fun to spend time with the family, and it's always fun to spend time with my Who Dat family here on the State of the Saints podcast. And there's a lot of things that we need to discuss, and I apologize if I'm a little bit late to the party with some of these topics. I'm going to try to get across every last one of them on this episode. We're going to be dedicating this episode to the chat. Not going to do any call-ins on this episode, but we will be interacting through the chat. Next episode, we'll go back to the regular format when I'm back in my office, and we can do shows there. But I want to talk a little bit about Saints OTAs. If you're watching this on a Tuesday, Saints OTAs kicked off today. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Also discussing Kellen Moore's decision, as of right now at least, to go with a young quarterback room. I just recently put out an article on the stateofthesaints.com talking a little bit about that decision. And also I want to talk to some of these Saints fans out here that are really just taking shots at Tyler Shough for absolutely no reason. I mean, I'll get into that a little bit later, but if you're here, I ask that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully by the end of this show, if you're on a fence, we would have won you over with the content. But let's go ahead and get into it. The Saints decided to keep their quarterback room young as of right now. We know that the New Orleans Saints have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. All of them are young. Jake Haener is the veteran in the room going into his 3rd season. You got Spencer Rattler, who started in 6 games last season, Tyler Shough, the 2nd-round pick, and also undrafted Hunter Dekkers that was added to the team because of an impressive rookie minicamp that he had. And, there are some Saints fans out there that are kind of on the fence about this decision. I will get into that in just a second, but I do want to play this. This was Kellen Moore talking to the media at the Saints Hall of Fame golf tournament that they have every single year. And Kellen Moore discussed, the topic of, the going young at the quarterback position, because, this is something that, a lot of teams try to kind of shy away from. They don't really, try to discuss, really try to build a quarterback room with young players. They'll try to add some veteran presence in there. But this is what he said.
I'm excited just to spend time more and more on the field with these guys, just to get a feel for them. And, we feel like we got a really good group, a really exciting group. It's a young group, but it'll be a lot of fun.
I know the schedule came out last week. It's the first time in like 25 years. There's no primetime games. Do you almost kind of relish that or use that maybe as fuel to say, great, well, we're kind of in the shadows and surprise people?
Yeah, I think it's a natural thing to acknowledge for our players. And so obviously they're excited to, take advantage of the opportunity and see how it takes us. And so, we'll be fine.
The NFL is expected to vote.
So basically, he's just saying that he's excited about the opportunity, man. Excited about the opportunity to have these young guys in the room. And, there was a quote that he said later on in the interview. You can check it out on New Orleans Saints YouTube channel. But he basically said that, they're always looking to add depth to their team when necessary. So I think the Saints are going into these all-season activities, possibly giving these young guys opportunities to move up the pecking order of the depth chart. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I like that. I like the fact that the New Orleans Saints are giving these young players an opportunity. And I'm also excited because I think that how the Saints operate sometimes, you got to kind of read in between the lines or try to figure certain things out. But to me, it seems that the New Orleans Saints are trying to do something that we have asked them to do for I don't know how long, which is try to get this cap situation under control, try to roll with some young players, see what you actually have and develop them in order to get yourself in a better cap situation. So I don't have an issue with that. I think that Spencer Rattler is a talented quarterback. I think that although he didn't win a game as a starter last season, you saw some things that you can actually build on. There are some things that you can work with him. And it also just tells you how confident Kellen Moore is in his coaching staff. They got Scott Linehan out over there, a longtime guy who has been offensive coordinator, head coach in the league, and somebody that served as a mentor to him. I'm talking Kellen Moore. And then you got Scott Tozine, who's played in the league and worked with quarterbacks. Doug Nussmeier, working with quarterbacks, offensive coordinator of the Saints, and also Kellen Moore with his experience throughout his time as an offensive coordinator. So I think they trust the process. And, there's not a veteran quarterback that's out there right now that's going to come in and change the misfortunes of the Saints. There's a few that we all know, quarterbacks like Ryan Tannehill and Carson Wentz and a fan favorite in Teddy Bridgewater. But if the New Orleans Saints are going to find success in 2025, you have to believe that it's going to come from one of these quarterbacks. I don't know which one it's going to be. I got an idea who they want it to be, but none of us know. And the best case scenario for the New Orleans Saints is for you to find out what you actually have, and it doesn't, and it works. The worst case scenario is you find out what you have and it doesn't work. But even with that, you still have a 2026 draft where if you don't trust any of the quarterbacks in the room and they haven't given you anything that you can build on, well, next year's draft is supposed to have some better quarterback talent than this season, even though I'm kind of on a fence about making that type of statement because you never know what a quarterback is going to be. You never know what a player is going to be. I've heard all the time, this is the greatest defensive line draft in history. And then all of a sudden you might have two guys out there that you remember their name, or a cornerback, maybe one that you remember their name, it's like, so I understand that quarterback evaluators and scouts, they do their job at evaluating this talent that these players have. I get it, but you're not always going to get it right. There's some times where you're going to get it right, but there's some times you're going to get it wrong also. So I like the process as of right now. The Saints are in the off season, so there's no need for you to go out there and try to rush or try to expedite, or speed up this process in any way. You got OTAs starting today. You got training camp that's going to be coming up. You also have a mandatory OTA that's going to be coming up pretty soon as well before training camp. So you'll get yourself a nice little sample size of what these guys can actually do, and also answer some of your questions. Do you believe in that player? when we go into the 2025 season, will he be available? Will he be the guy to be able to rise to the occasion to help the team win and help the offense to be able to move the ball down the field? So those questions will get answered soon. And I have no problem with the New Orleans Saints waiting to try to figure this thing out. Let me go ahead and read some of your comments here just to start us off. I want to say thank y'all once again, those that are in the chat right now. Very interactive podcast. All you have to do is put your comments in the chat like always. Lake Charles, Louisiana in here. Well, shouts out to you, Kevin, all the way in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Appreciate you for being here. Brother TJ and family, the Know Your Chop podcast. Appreciate that, Kai. Thank you for being here as well, man. Shouts out to you and the Know Your Chop podcast. Got Jerry in the building. Then happy birthday to Pac-Man. Yeah, my little man, 6 years old, man. And y'all, a lot of y'all seen my son grow up right in front of y'all. You know, he's always he always comes through with a cameo, you know, every now and then, you know, just to let everybody know he's around. But yeah, my boy, he getting up there, man. Yeah, so I'm proud of him. You know, I'm proud of him, man. He's a good kid. He's a smart kid. He works hard in school, man. He makes, you know, he makes his dad proud, man. You cannot win in this league without a good quarterback. I don't see anything worthwhile in our quarterback room. Yeah, Joe, I mean, as of right now, it's all speculative at this point because, I mean, a couple of guys you've seen, you know, and I think that in a way I feel bad for Spencer Rattler because Spencer Rattler it's almost like, to me, it's like you have a rare comic book and, you know what I'm saying, you're excited, you know, about this rare comic book and all of a sudden, like, you pop the plastic off of it and read the first page and you're like, I don't know about this. It's kind of like that, right? You know, like, or you pop the seal and now it doesn't have that value like it once did, right? It's kind of that, you know, and I feel like some situations that he was put in were not, I don't want to call them fair, but it didn't make him look his best and he couldn't shine in those situations. And some of us, you know, sometimes we can't like turn it on and turn it off, so to speak. Like we understand his circumstances, but at the same time, we're like, you want to see something otherworldly. And because you didn't see that, it kind of just, I guess, like takes some of the shine off. So I don't know, man. There were some things that he did well. I think maybe in a better environment, a more supporting environment, he probably could have did a lot better. But you can't unsee what you saw, right? You can't unsee 6 losses. You can't unsee, you know what I'm saying, some interceptions. You can't see turning the ball over in the Denver game. Like, you can't see those things, right? And if you feel hopeless, you know, and things aren't working out, like, you're going to start adding that on to the hopeless feeling that you feel, if that makes any sense. So Spencer Rattler, in a lot of cases, it was totally unfair to him, but I can also understand why Saints fans still feel like this quarterback room isn't ideal. I don't know what Tyler Shough can do. I don't know what he can do. None of us do. None of us know what Tyler Shough is capable of doing, or Hunter Dekkers, or Jake Haener, of that matter. You know, like, so it's kind of hard for us to like sit up here and be confident about something we don't know that much about. So I can understand that, but even with this quarterback room, there's not somebody on the outside that's going to come in and change your misfortune, for the exception of maybe Aaron Rodgers. You know, you'll be a better football team offensively with Aaron Rodgers, whether you like him or not. You would be. You may not want Aaron Rodgers as the starting quarterback of the Saints, but if he was to come to the Saints, they'll be in a better position than any one of these quarterbacks that they have right now would put them in. That's a fact. TJ, what's your opinion on Mickey Loomis not wanting to answer questions about the Derek Carr situation? I just think that's on brand of Mickey Loomis. And, you know, I was listening to the press conference this morning I didn't get a chance to really listen to anything over the weekend. You know, when I'm chilling with my family, man, I'm with my family. So I kind of, even though I was, knew what was going on, I really wasn't listening to any of the interviews and stuff like that over the last couple of days. But I got an opportunity to check it out while I was working out this morning. And, the one thing about Mickey Loomis is, Mickey Loomis, in a way, understands his position. And what I mean by that is he know he ain't going nowhere. This is why it's pointless to get mad at Mickey Loomis. Like, unless something like earth-shattering happens, like of monumental proportions, he's not going anywhere. Like, there was one part of the interview where he was talking about, I always make good decisions. They just don't work out. But it's like he trolling us. Like, I know what y'all upset about. I know what y'all getting mad at me about, but there's nothing you can do about it. Like, this man is made of Teflon. Like, he doesn't have to answer any question. Mickey Loomis can go up there and just stare and look at people and just walk off, and they probably still wouldn't do nothing to him because he has that type of power. He has that type of stroke. I mean, at this point, I don't understand why anybody is looking for answers from Mickey Loomis at this point, because he's not going to give you any. The Saints can go out here and make some of the most ridiculous mistakes that you ever seen in your entire life, and he can go up there and just deflect, and nobody's going to hold him accountable. Like, what are you going to do? Like, that's just the breaks. How do I feel about it? From a personal perspective, I feel like it's a slap in the face to the Saints fans. I feel like if you're going to sit up there and want people to sing your praises throughout the entire time, when you're the general manager and talking about how good you was, and Sean Payton, Drew Brees was out here wheeling and dealing, the epitome of offensive efficiency, and everybody was up there talking about how great you are. Well, you should be able to sit up there and understand that this product sucks. And, you can't get mad at somebody or try to deflect when you're making decisions that aren't working. It's a slap in the face to the Saints fans, but also at the same time, it also just is him basically just showing everybody, like, there's nothing you can do about it. So Saints fans are pretty much stuck. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. You're stuck. Like, you got to hope that this dude, I'm talking Mickey Loomis, this guy makes the right decision more so than not. Now, over the last couple of years, he has made decisions. I will agree with him in some regards. There was a couple of things that he said in that interview I actually agree with, because I said it before. I said the Saints don't deserve any primetime games. You got to earn them. He said that. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, Mickey Loomis, like I said, understand his position. He knows he ain't going to go anywhere. It is a slap in the face to Saints fans out there that pay their hard-earned money. They just want a product they can be proud of. But you got to hope that this dude get it right, because there's nobody that is higher up that is going to challenge him. I can't see Gail Benson firing Mickey Loomis from or relieving him of his duties. Neither do I feel Dennis Lauscher would do something like that, because to me, I don't think they're really football people. I mean that respectfully. I feel like she owns the team, but I say this all the time. Like, if Gail Benson wasn't married to Tom Benson, I don't think she would be around football at all. I honestly believe that Gail probably didn't know anything about football until she started like dating, and then she married Tom Benson. I really believe that. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, she inherited a team, and you don't know what you don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with her like really not, understanding like the ins and outs of the game like that. I don't, because I feel like meddling owners are like the worst. But the problem is, like, sometimes you need somebody to have an idea about, what I'm saying, or something deep when it comes to football in order to kind of keep people, in control, like understand, like, man, this is a job. Like, to him is like your typical GM, they understand that their decisions, determine if they're going to have a job or not. Mickey Loomis can sleep at night knowing that this decision didn't work, this decision didn't work, this decision didn't work, but I got a job tomorrow. Fair, unfair, but, I mean, he ain't going anywhere. He not. So, you know, it's pointless to get mad at this point, man. At this time, you just basically got to shake your head because, like I said, some of the things that he says, you can just kind of tell, like, it's almost like somebody, like, sticking their tongue out saying nanny, nanny, boo-boo at this point. You know, like, what are you going to do? Like, yeah, I make bad decisions, you know. I mean, that was, like, when he said that, it was like, no, I don't never make bad decisions. Like, he makes bad decisions, but he knows that the Saints fans want him gone. Like a nice little sample size of them don't want him to be the general manager anymore. And, you know, taking shots and saying stuff like that just basically just makes you, you know, understand, like, man, I can say this, but ain't nothing gonna happen. So I don't even like, since I know the role and I understand, like, the power that he has within the organization, it's pointless to even get mad at this point or even go at him like that. Like, hello, organic and inorganic beings, says Truth Hurts. Let's see. Who that? Happy birthday to the Pac-Man. Appreciate that, man. Saints need a real coach. Look at what happened when Sam Darnold got a coach. Well, I think that the Saints got themselves a really good coach in Kellen Moore. You know, like I've heard this too, man. You know, people kind of criticizing Kellen Moore, you know, talking about like him not really being involved in the Derek Carr situation, him not really being involved and not really knowing what's going on. But I mean, look, I think that the Saints, and if you look at it, have allowed Kellen Moore to put his stamp on his team. Looking at the way that the Saints are structured, you know that this decision that they had as far as the quarterbacks being in the room had to come from Kellen Moore because it's an unconventional decision. Like, let's if you've been rocking with the Saints for a long time, you know what decisions came from the New Orleans Saints when it comes to higher up and when it came from maybe somebody that ain't been around the facility and been around the team. And the decisions that the Saints have been making, I got to say, like, they're unconventional. So I know that Kellen Moore has his hands on the team in some capacity, right? You know, the coaches that he bringing in, the players that they're selecting, the quarterbacks being the way that they are right now. Like, we know that the Saints would easily bring in a veteran guy, but they want to see what these young dudes can do. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with them with that approach. So I think that Kellen Moore is doing a good job. I just think that people just want a tyrant or somebody that's going to be like bucking up at the media, or, you know what I'm saying, or giving them like a soundbite that they can run with. Like, I don't care. I don't think that you have to be like super aggressive, like always angry all the time, like quick to temper in order to be a good head coach. Like, dude just strikes me as a good teacher. Like, he can get in front of the class and tell you what you did wrong, and he can teach you how to be a better player. And that's what you want from a coach. You know, we got to see when it comes to situational football, can he be able to deliver? But I don't have a problem with Kellen Moore. Like, some people are just different. And when you're used to a certain type of coach in a certain type of way that they carry themselves, you feel like all those coaches need to be like that, especially if that coach, the way that they worked. So I don't feel like you gotta be, you know, a tyrant all the time, or somebody that's gonna, be like super aggressive. You know, you can be mild mannered, quiet. You know what I'm saying? Not be so stoic and still be a good coach. They basically threw him out there with the practice squad against professional NFL team, pretty much. And like I said, I feel like I don't even feel. I look. The New Orleans Saints organization understood that last year was a train wreck. It was an absolute disaster. And by bringing and sending Spencer Rattler out there to be the starting quarterback, that was them giving the fan base a bone. Like, I feel like that was more of a business decision than a football decision. And allow me to elaborate on that. Never, ever forget that the NFL is a business. I'm going to say that again. Never, ever forget that the NFL is a business. Never, ever forget that touchdown, those interceptions, that long run, all that stuff is great. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a business. And the NFL and teams generate money by viewership, and you sitting your behind in them stands. So the season was going completely haywire, and they knew how Saints fans felt about Spencer Rattler as the quarterback. And I think that played a huge role in them sending him out there, because they knew that Saints fans would show up to the Superdome just to see. Because when him on the sidelines, it symbolized belief, the possibilities of something that can be great. And when Derek Carr went down, that was the opportunity to keep the fan base around. Keep eyes on the Saints product with Spencer Rattler. It wasn't the best situation for Spencer Rattler, but I feel like it was more of a business decision. I'm not going to say that Spencer Rattler, he just got awful, and like they knew that he had some talent, but the driving force was the business part of Saints football. Like that's my opinion. Because why in the world would you have Jake Haener as the backup quarterback of your football team every single week with Derek Carr, and when Derek Carr goes down, Jake Haener can't get an opportunity? Why is that? Now, I can think of another reason. I mean, we all know, with all due respect, that Derek Carr didn't have it wasn't the toughest Teflon-made ego that you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty fragile. So maybe that had something to do with it, due to the popularity. So maybe they decided to put him in the back of the depth chart to make old Derek happy. Or it's the fact that it could have been a business decision. Because once again, Jay Haener was the backup quarterback every single game that Derek Carr started. So why in the world would Derek Carr go down and all of a sudden Spencer Rattler, who was the third string quarterback, move up to the starting spot? It was business. Only two things that can happen to get Mickey going: if he stepped down himself or he passed away, unfortunately. Other than that, we stuck with him. Yep. And he understands that. That's why getting upset and talking about Mickey need to do this, Mickey need to do that, it's just a waste of time. It's just frustrating that there's nothing you can do about it. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world, to feel helpless or at the mercy of somebody else. And you got to hope that they get it right. I've said this on the show plenty of times. We have to hope that Mickey Loomis gets it right more so than gets it wrong, because he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay there. And we can talk about, oh, man, we need to stop going to the games and all that kind of stuff. But society today, y'all know, man, you're always going to have people on different sides of the fence. If you start talking about not showing up to the game, you're going to have them diehard Saints fans talking about you crazy. And then you're going to have the other fans that are going to be talking about y'all crazy, y'all delusional. And it's never going to be on one accord. So, that's just the way things go. So I don't see that happening. But that's what it would take, because make no mistake about it, the unity that Saints fans showed towards wanting Dennis Allen fired was the driving force. And that's what I don't understand. Like, people don't understand the power that they possess because you just think of yourself as one individual. But if you become a community, a village, a tribe, a country, you know what I'm saying? You become much stronger. You become much stronger. So when people got on one accord when it came to Dennis Allen, the New Orleans Saints organization had no choice but to listen. It was unprecedented. Like, I don't understand. I don't think people understand like how unprecedented it was seeing this dude get fired. Like Gail Benson, like she like normally she sits in the background. We already talked about this. She sits in the background, but she stood up and moved everybody out the way and said, nah, you're gonna fire this dude today. So that shows you the power that you possess. Now, if the Saints fans would use that same power and you know, and I'm not saying this now because the reality is, as bad as you may think the New Orleans Saints are going to be, we don't know how bad they're going to be. We don't. We hear this all the time. Oh, this team is projected to win three games, 4 games, and then the next thing you know, they're a playoff team. You think that the Washington Commanders was supposed to end up in the NFC Championship game? Now, you can talk about Jaden Daniels, but as much as we admire Jaden Daniels, as much as we like him, nobody expected Jaden Daniels to play as otherworldly as he did. I think that you probably thought he would play well, but not that well. But all I'm saying is, like, you don't know what the team is going to be. So, I mean, you got to have a wait and see approach. But at the same time, if they continue to make bad decision after bad decision and nothing comes of it, like, that's when I feel like the fan base needs to galvanize, because it's no time for you to be sitting up here acting self-righteous. Like, when something is right there in front of your face, like, man, you got to do something about it. You got to be able to, like, to stand up. Like, man, I just don't understand this world today where we live in, where people know that things are absolutely ridiculous, but they just want to be that one person in the world that says it's not ridiculous. I don't know if it's just the fact that maybe they know it gets them attention or what, but if you know something ain't working, it's okay if the masses are saying that it's not working. You ain't got to just, man, y'all just negative about everything. Like, come on, man. It's about generating results. I'm just going to say that we know that's not going to happen. But if Loomis does get fired or step down, I don't want Jeff Ireland or Kyle Harley to be a Saints GM. Well, the way that the Saints are structured, like, you probably would end up getting something like that. Because even if he does step down, he's still going to be involved in the succession plan. Like, the man ain't going nowhere. Like, seriously, like, understand, please understand. He is the executive vice president of the New Orleans Saints. He is the executive vice president of the New Orleans Saints. So even if he was to step down, he still would be involved in the process. He still would be helping out in football operations. Like, the only thing that would be is something to put the Saints fans' mind at ease. I don't want to keep on like getting into that, but I'm just going by the question that you all ask, but I'm just letting all the Saints fans know it's pointless to even be getting upset about stuff like that. It just doesn't make, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense. It definitely makes sense for you to get upset, but it just, you're getting yourself worked up for something that you can't really change. The only ones that can change that is the Saints organization. But speaking of the Saints organization, staff, organization, and crew, the Saints OTAs kick off on today. And look, they're voluntary, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can volunteer. You don't have to show up. So there may be some players that may not show up, like Alvin Kamara is one of those players that don't show up to the voluntary OTAs, but he always shows up to the voluntary one, and he always comes in shape. He does his off-season thing. And there might be some more players that may not take part in that, but this is a great opportunity for some of these quarterbacks, in order for them to get some reps, in order for them to get some snaps with some seasoned veterans, especially somebody like Tyler Shough. He'll get opportunity to throw some passes to Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, because I'm pretty sure Olave is out there. I've seen some pictures of him, inside the facility working out and training and stuff. So I expect for him to be there. And also some of these other quarterbacks get an opportunity to be able to throw with some of these veterans. And, this also gives this coaching staff a look at some of these quarterbacks to see what they can actually bring to the table. I don't think that this is the end for the Saints when it comes to quarterbacks. I think that they will still end up bringing in a veteran. What veteran quarterback? I don't know. But, if you have 4 young quarterbacks on your roster, and it's still early in the offseason process because you haven't even hit training camp yet, man, just go out here and see what these young quarterbacks can do, right? I mean, you still got some quarterbacks out there that you can possibly sign that's still on the street, and I'm pretty sure they'll be there for you if you need them. But see what these young guys can do. And also not just the quarterback position, but some of these other players that the Saints have drafted and some of these players that have something to prove. Like I want to see, if maybe some of these other players can be able to take an extra step, coming back in, maybe, transform their body in the offseason, be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe the new scheme that Brandon Staley is bringing in can cater to some of these other guys that probably was lost in translation in a Dennis Allen defense. So, these OTAs are going to help these players. And also, it helps to build the camaraderie, the chemistry for these players. I think that the fact that the Saints don't have any primetime games, they have to go into the season feeling like they got something to prove. And that's what you want. You want the Saints to have a chip on their shoulder because, look, if you can't win or you can't build something with a huge chip on your shoulder, the NFL basically telling you that you're not watchable, because that's what it's saying. Like, they're saying that you ain't worth watching. Like, we ain't gonna put you on a marquee because nobody gonna watch you. That is what they're saying. So if you can't get motivated after that, I don't think there's anything that can help you. I mean, I don't feel like there's hyperbole. I don't think that I don't think there's something that can be debated. Like, if you can't get motivated for that, I don't know what to tell you. Man, F out of here. You would say something different if Taysom would have started. I don't know what you're talking about here. Let's see. You acting like is Rattler fault when starters been out with injury? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think so, man. Like I just think that it wasn't fair, to him. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry about that, folks. Had to take that phone call right there. But look, man, there were some things that he did. I'm talking Spencer Rattler, for those that just tuned in. Spencer Rattler, there were some things that he did that, even if you, did have your starters out there, you can't do, But there was some things that, prohibit him from really, showing what he can actually do as well. But I want to see what he looked like in his second season. I want to see if he improved. Because, I mean, he has the arm talent. I think we all know that. But you got to get better with the decision making. Speaking of Loomis choosing to ignore or push off all questions for Lemon and his retirement is beyond ridiculous, TJ. He just needs to go in another direction in general. Yeah, but that's the thing. Nobody, I mean this respectfully, no disrespect, but ain't nobody gonna challenge him on that. You know what I'm saying? And he knows that. And even if they do, he's like, this isn't one of those situations. Like, even if he got pressed, right? Even if he got pressed, still, you know what, like, honestly, what probably would happen? You know, maybe, you know what I'm saying, that person that's probably pressing him probably couldn't get access to him like that. Or, you know what I'm saying, like, or the fact that they're still not going to tell you anything that, you know, that they don't want to tell you. Because, like I said, it's not like the New York media, like the Philadelphia media. Like, man, it's not like that. You know, and like I said, this isn't like a shot at any of the reporters. It's like they do a really good job. Like Catherine Terrell, like the article that she wrote, you know, like the extensive like research and all that kind of stuff, like outstanding. Like they do their due diligence, but at the same time, like they know that they pretty much, there's only so much they can do, because this guy's not going to tell you anything because he doesn't have to. Like, it's not like an owner going to go to him and say, look, they need transparency. Like, it's not going to happen. So he can say whatever he wants. Like, he can go up there and say, like, basically recite the Gettysburg Address and walk off. And people going to be like, man, what's up with that? Mickey Loomis, instead of him talking about Derek Carr, recited the Gettysburg Address. There ain't nothing you can do about it, man. Like, it's just what it is. Like, it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to, like, know that you never really going to know what happened with the Derek Carr situation, because he'll never tell you. You know that more than likely, you know what I'm saying, you probably have somebody that, you know, probably behind the scenes might give you a little something, but it's not going to come from him. And it's been like that for a while, man, where they can make these questionable decisions and then they don't work. And, oh, we'll get back to that at another time. Hey, TJ, if Loomis was to step down one day, who would you want to be next GM hire from within, or go get someone from the outside? I would have to say go get somebody from the outside. I would have to say go get somebody from the outside, because this is what I believe. And if you've been around somebody for a long period of time, like especially in a work environment, and that person is like your boss, like you gonna have like some ways and some characteristics similar to them. And it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, right? But more than likely, like if you've been rocking with them for a minute, you're gonna probably carry yourself the same exact way. So I just think that you just need to hire maybe somebody that can come in with some fresh ideas, right? You know, like somebody that's gonna come in with a different point of view. I feel like if you know, you hire from within, I think about that general manager hired that person, you know, and that person is probably going to be similar to what that GM was. So I would want somebody new. TJ, do you think the Saints will carry 4 quarterbacks into the season? No, I don't. I feel like Jake Haener going to be the odd man out. I think they're going to keep Hunter Dekkers. I do. He probably going to be on the practice squad, but I think they're going to keep him. When you know you're untouchable, your decision-making could be reckless. And some of them have been. Some of his decisions have been pretty reckless. Like the handling of the cap has been reckless. It has been. But but he knows that nothing is going to come of it. So, unfortunately, in the primetime games that we played in last year, we ended up getting blown out. Yep. Like I said, if you want people to watch you, you got to give them something to watch. You know, you got to make yourself watchable. Who that, TJ? I got my ticket for the Arizona game and hotel booked on the French Quarter. I don't care who the quarterback is. All I know is no matter how the season goes, the Dome is going to be rocking the first game. I agree. And if they win, it's really going to be rocking. Not referring to you, TJ. I figured that, Dalton. I knew that. I know you're probably talking to somebody in the chat. Sometimes I just kind of click on at random. I don't read. I don't proofread before I actually click the button. So I didn't know. I kind of figured you weren't talking to me. Probably the worst quarterback room ever to win max. I guess you mean 2 wins? Okay. I guess 2 wins max. I don't know. I don't know why some of these Saints fans want Tyler Shough has downfall because we didn't get Sanders. Look, I think that plays a huge role, and that leads me to my last point of this episode, which is Tyler Shough. Okay, so Tyler Shough took part in the rookie premiere, and even before I get into that, what the heck is going on? Why wasn't Kelvin Banks at the rookie premiere? This man was the first pick number 9 for the New Orleans Saints, and this man can't go to the rookie premiere. That just goes to show you that they ain't got no love for these offensive linemen, man. I don't think I seen an offensive lineman in that picture, and I know I didn't see Will Campbell and nobody, but that's another story for another day. Tyler Shough went to the rookie premiere representing the New Orleans Saints, and it was the first time the New Orleans Saints fans got an opportunity to see Tyler Shough in full Saints uniform, and people were criticizing the guy, talking about, oh, he ain't got no aura. I believe one joke said he has the aura, and this isn't me, says he has an aura of a AutoZone worker. Somebody said that. No disrespect to anybody who worked at AutoZone. Y'all some good people. Definitely for those that really don't know anything about cars. I just seeing people great people, by the way. But anyway, just criticizing the guy because of a picture. Oh, man, look, he wearing 6. He a punter. He wearing number 6 like he a punter. Now, as much as I admire Thomas Morstead, Thomas Morstead definitely is a Saints legend. Great person. I got opportunity to talk to him behind the scenes. No problem whatsoever. But here's the thing. There's been some guys who wore number 6 after Thomas Morstead, and I ain't see nobody referring to them as a punter. Most recently, Willie Gay. Willie Gay, who was the linebacker for the Saints on a 1-year deal, I ain't hear nobody say he looked like a punter. But all of a sudden, this guy looks like a punter. Oh, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got no aura. What do people, did people expect for him at a rookie premiere to come out like you would modify your Madden character on Madden football game on EA Sports, or college football 25? What the guy was supposed to have a towel in his back pocket, a tinted sun visor, some Jordan 12s on, and that probably would have made y'all feel better about the quarterback circumstance. I know quarterbacks that rock J's it's going out of style, right? Visor on, towel, hand warmer. You know what I'm saying? All dressed looking good. Supposed to be feeling good, but can't play good, okay? What they say, man, couldn't play Tyler Perry with a dress on. You get what I'm saying? And that's what y'all want. That's what y'all talking about. This is the most, that's the good thing and the bad thing. The good thing about Saints fans and what you love is they're a petty fan base. But some of the things that get on your nerves about the Saints fan base sometimes is that they're a petty fan base. How can you look at a picture of a guy and say to yourself, man, he don't look like he can ball? Come on, man. What are we doing here? I get it. I completely understand. There's a huge percentage. I won't say a huge percentage, but there's a nice percentage of Saints fans that wanted the New Orleans Saints to maybe go after Shedeur Sanders. Wanting him because I guess the way that he carries himself, the confidence that he rocks with, I get that. And then you look at Tyler Shough and people where he come from. But the man ain't played a down in the National Football League, and people already ready to put him down. But you know what? Them same fans that's right here don't want to get his man a chance. Gonna be the same one. Man, that dude pretty good, man. Why do we always gotta be first? We always want to be first to something, right? So if he goes out there and he doesn't perform well, what do you get? Oh, man, I told y'all he wasn't going to be good. Well, if you're a Saints fan, how does that benefit you? Like, think about this. If you're a Saints fan and you want your favorite team to win football games and the quarterback that they select doesn't win football games, how does that benefit you? How does that make you feel good about your football team? So what is going to keep you warm at night? Knowing that you were wrong about a quarterback? Man, I told y'all, man, I told y'all. Well, the Saints ain't winning. So why does it matter? You should want this guy to succeed. You should want him to play his best. You should want to support him regardless. He is a New Orleans Saint. And if you are a fan of the New Orleans Saints, you need to support the guy. And I can understand if you actually seen something out of him, but you ain't seen nothing. A picture of a guy in a black and gold uniform. And people up here criticizing the man and going in based on a picture and him wearing the number 6. You got to be freaking kidding me. There's another guy I know that wears the number 6 that carved the Saints up twice. As a matter of fact, his name is Baker Mayfield. He looked good in number 6, right? I bet you Tampa Bay fans will tell you that. He looked good in that number 6 when he was slicing and dicing the New Orleans Saints up for 50 points in the Superdome. So I don't have a problem with number 6. If we're going to talk, man, we're going to talk for real. Y'all know me. We're going to talk for real. We ain't going to sugarcoat around here. Like, that's the most petty stuff I ever seen in my entire life, man. Some of y'all whack. I'm going to just call it for what it is. Y'all whack for that. Like, I get it. You didn't want the guy. But he is your guy, regardless if you want that or not. That's whack, man. I can think of a million other ways you can criticize a guy. If you want to talk about, man, TJ, I'm giving him a chance, but man, those injuries that he had in college, they kind of, bothering me. Let's talk about it. Man, TJ, I was looking at some footage, man. It just seems like when he gets a little pressure in his face, man, he starts to panic and he makes bad decisions. Let's talk about it. But the fact that the man didn't have on some Jordans and instead of just some regular Nikes, and that's the reason why you're going at this man's neck, get a life. And this is somebody that's been talking about the Saints getting Shadur Sanders. I wanted the Saints to get Shadur Sanders, but get a life. Shadur Sanders ain't coming. The Saints had an opportunity to get him. They didn't. This is your quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. And more than likely, unless like some unforeseen circumstances happen, he is going to be the starting quarterback. So once again, for all those people out here, because the man wasn't rocking some exclusive Jordans, he ain't have on a chain that was dancing like Michael Jackson in 1983. Get a life. Get a life. Whoever the quarterback end up being, I am cool with it. As long as that used car is going, I'm okay. And we will get better. Yeah, I think that everybody's okay with any quarterback as long as they ain't Derek Carr. Yeah, that ain't the move, man. I'm good. I just like the fact that we talk about other quarterbacks other than this dude. But did the Falcons win the Super Bowl? Well, no, Falcons ain't win nothing. Tyler Shough will be the starting quarterback, number 11 since 2019. That's crazy. That's insane, man. It also just shows you how great Drew Brees was when he was around. Forget the player jersey number, can he play? That should be the number one concern. Thank you. I don't care if he's number 0, number 99. Like, I don't care if he go, 22, like Doug Flutie did in 83. All I know is I want the guy to ball out. Like, I don't get this, man. We up here with Jordan. We want this dude to look like Madden, our characters on Madden. Everybody done souped up their character on Madden. Do it all the time. I put the black visor on, the black Oakley visor. You know what I'm saying? I look for him, get some Jordan 12s on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Or some Jordan 11s. You know, I make sure that, you know, he probably had the Jordan 1s on him. You know, I make sure that, you know, he might have like one black sleeve on, and then on the other, they have a white sleeve on. Then I make sure that he have on some Nike Elite gloves. Like, we all do that, right? But that, like, that don't mean that he can play. That don't mean he can play. What that boy said, man, looked the part but couldn't play dead in a Western. For real. That don't mean nothing, man. Can he throw them dimes? Can he get a Jason Kidd on? Can he get a John Stockton on? Can he distribute the ball? Can he do that? I'm good. All that other stuff, man, that stuff don't matter, man. TJ out here styling on these boys. Like, man, for real. That stuff, it don't matter. It don't matter, man. I just want this dude to win. I want him to win. You want him to win. That should be the main concern. TJ, the fact that most of the fan base would be okay with a potential 3 or 4 win season tells you how this team has fallen off in recent years. I don't even think that's what it is. I don't even think it has anything to do with them wanting 3 or 4 wins. I think that the expectations, and I agree with you on this, nobody has expectations for this team like in years past, right? I don't even, like, it's not the fact that they're okay with it. It's just the fact that they see where this team at. But that leads into your point, Brandon. How do we get to this point? You know, like, how do we get to this point? They don't want to have that conversation, you know. And if they tried to have that conversation, then all Mickey would say is, "I don't want to talk about this right now." TJ, it's the same every year. People act like all players are supposed to be a sure thing. The same naysayers will be shucking and jiving if he can play. Yep, rocking that jersey, rocking that number 6. You're gonna be looking like a punter. But look, I just think that people just try to be quick to the draw. Oh, he ain't gonna be good. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna be good. I told y'all he ain't gonna be good. I told y'all he ain't gonna be good. But are you gonna go out here and say, I told y'all I was wrong. I knew I was wrong. I bet you ain't gonna say that. I'm wrong. I ain't never heard. I promise you. As long as I've seen these hot takes, like, people will line up to tell me how wrong I am about a take. They will line up to tell me I ain't talked to nobody. They will line up and tell me that I ain't certified. They will line up and tell me I ain't this person or that person. But when I'm right, that line is short. That line is like when, you know, you wake up early in the morning, like the line is at a Walmart or something. You know, like, y'all know, Walmart open, you might have 1 or 2 people just standing outside. That's how that line would be. Because nobody wants to sit up here and admit when they're wrong. And that's why I don't feel bad when I say certain things and they don't come true, because guess what? Y'all know that I'm gonna have a show and say, you know what? I was wrong about this. People don't keep the same energy. Thank you, Jerry. You know, they say keep that same energy. Yeah, people don't keep the same energy. That's why I don't have respect for them. I don't have respect for some of these people, man. Like, because they not going to come up here and tell you that you're wrong, or they're going to hide out in your DMs. Like, nah. What they say, the apology should be as loud as the disrespect. Don't come in my DM, man. Yeah, man, I was just letting you know, man. I think you was wrong. Nah. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Oh, I was wrong about this player right here. I said that this was this. I was wrong. I don't see that. What we do? We go right to social media and erase it. It ain't never happened. Speak on it, TJ. I'm starting to question these other Saints fans. Yeah, like, look, I don't have a problem with the skepticism, but his jersey number and shoes. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, what are we doing, man? That's all. That's all I wanted. What are we doing? What we doing, man? Like, I will admit, there's not a lot of things as a Saints fan in 2025 to get optimistic about. It's not. The love, I say this all the time, the love that we have for this football team is the thing that keeps us around. This is what's keeping us around. It has nothing to, like, if we didn't love this football team, would y'all be watching me? Would y'all be like reading all these articles, you know, by Ross and Nick and Mike and Catherine and, you know, and Matt and all these other guys? Rod? No, you wouldn't. But you love this football team and you want to see them do well. That's what keep you around. It ain't looking at a team that don't really have much that you can be excited about. But you know, I just need some more valid points, man. I just need more valid points than just somebody like the way they look in a pitch. TJ, remember people thought Drew was damn as good as, yeah, how'd that turn out? Man, all I'm saying is give the dude a chance. If he goes out there and he doesn't play well, we can start having these conversations. But I'm not going to just judge somebody based on his opinion. And I couldn't believe it. I post shouts out to my guy who was at the rookie premiere. You know what I'm saying? Post a picture up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, okay, cool, man. Everybody can look at Tyler Shough for the first time. Saints black and gold uniform. Cool. Man, he ain't got no aura, man. He when he wearing 6, that's a punter. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm like, huh? Just get a young man his fair shot, and that's all we can do. And if he is a clear-cut winner in training camp, that's your quarterback. Yep. But I mean, he joked about it. I'm talking Tyler Shough. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have better drip," you know. But so he saw what happened. But man, even if that's the case, like Tyler, if you watching this right now, brother, you know, or you watching it later on, man, you ain't got to change for these people, man. Just go out there and ball out, be you, stay true to yourself. It's like we love the fact that you're trying to ingratiate yourself into the New Orleans Saints culture. That will go a long way for you. But I guarantee you balling and doing what you need to do out there on the field is going to change the minds of these Saints fans much quicker than you putting on some exclusive 12s. But thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. I really do appreciate it. Much love to you. Hope you enjoyed the show. I ask that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. Also, check out Saints Talk Timothy J. Jones on Bleacher Report every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll be back on tomorrow. I'll be in my office tomorrow, so we'll be able to talk and discuss New Orleans Saints OTAs day one, and also taking your phone calls, man. We'll get back to doing that format. But in the meantime, I appreciate it. Make sure that you follow me on social media on X at TJAY Jones 8. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?